At the early hours of June 6, 1944. Berlin. The room is silent except for the ticking of a clock. Maps cover the walls of France, Belgium, the Low Countries, red and blue pins marking divisions, armor, artillery. A German officer stands rigid at attention, holding a decoded radio message. Adolf Hitler sits at the head of the table. His eyes move slowly across the paper. The message confirms what he already believes. The Allied invasion is not the main attack. Normandy is a diversion. The real blow will come at Pas-de-Calais. Hitler leans back. And with that single decision, Germany's fate is sealed. Because the message is a lie. A lie crafted not by an army, not by a general, but by one man. A civilian. A nobody. A Spaniard named Juan Pujol García. And at this moment, without firing a single bullet, he has just sabotaged Hitler's war plans and changed the course of history. At 1939, Europe was burning. Nazi Germany moves with terrifying speed. Poland collapses. France falls. The Luftwaffe pounds Britain from the sky. Across occupied Europe, Hitler's war machine tightens its grip. But there is one problem the Reich cannot solve with tanks or bombs. Wars are no longer won only on battlefields. They are won in minds, in signals, and in beliefs. Hitler knows this. The Abwehr, Germany's military intelligence, is ordered to uncover Allied intentions at all costs. If Germany guesses right, it can concentrate its forces and crush the invasion. If it guesses wrong, the Reich will bleed to death. And unknowingly, Hitler places his trust in the worst possible source. A man who does not exist. Juan Pujol García is born in Barcelona, 1912. He is not a soldier. Not an aristocrat. Not a revolutionary. He runs a chicken farm. He hates extremism, both fascism and communism. He watches Spain tear itself apart in civil war. And he makes a quiet decision. I must do something to prevent this madness from spreading. Juan wants to fight Nazism, but Britain rejects him twice. So he does the unthinkable. He approaches Germany. And offers to spy for them. The Abwehr accepts. They believe they've recruited a loyal agent. They give him a code name. Agent Arabelle. They never realize. Juan has never set foot in Britain. From Lisbon, Juan begins sending intelligence reports to Berlin. Detailed, confident, convincing. He describes British troop movements. Naval ports. Factory production. All of it fabricated. He studies tourist guides, newspapers, railway schedules. He invents sources. Dockworkers. Soldiers. Civil servants. 27 imaginary subagents. Each with personalities, weaknesses, political views. The Abwehr is impressed. His reports are so precise, so believable, that Germany begins trusting him more than aerial reconnaissance. Juan is lying constantly. But lying perfectly. At 1942, British intelligence intercepts German signals. They notice something alarming. Berlin is receiving high-quality intelligence from inside Britain. But no one can find the agent. MI5 realizes the truth. The spy doesn't exist. They track him. They find Juan. And instead of arresting him, they recruit him. He receives a new code name. Garbo. Named after Greta Garbo. Because, like the actress, he is the best actor in the world. Garbo now feeds Germany intelligence approved by Britain. True enough to be trusted. False enough to mislead. He reports fake troop buildups. Invented divisions. Imaginary landings. Germany reacted. Moves tanks. Shifts aircraft. Repositions defenses. Exactly as Britain wants. Every German response proves Garbo's value. The trap tightens. By late 1943, the Allies prepare for the largest invasion in human history. Operation Overlord. But success depends on one thing. Germany must believe the invasion will strike somewhere else. Pas-de-Calais. Closest point to England. Heavily fortified. Hitler's obsession. Garbo becomes the centerpiece of the deception. Operation Fortitude. The greatest intelligence con in history. And Juan Pujol García stands at its center. Alone. Unarmed. Trusted by the enemy. At January 1944. At London MI5 headquarters. Maps line the walls. Telephone lines hum with coded voices. Officers pace. Britain faces an impossible challenge: how to convince Hitler that the invasion will hit Pas-de-Calais, not Normandy. Garbo's orders are simple: invent an army, and that's exactly what he does. He creates the first U.S. Army Group Fusag. Headed by General George S. Patton, the Allies' most feared general. But Fusag doesn't exist. Not a single soldier, not a single tank, not a single plane. Just paper reports. Radio chatter. Phantom reconnaissance. And Garbo's pen. Britain launches Operation Fortitude, a deception campaign spanning hundreds of miles. Fortitude North threatens Norway. Diverts Luftwaffe reconnaissance. Fortitude South, the real masterstroke, makes Germany believe the main assault will be at Pas-de-Calais. Garbo feeds Berlin regular reports. He invents camps full of tents along the English coast. He describes inflatable tanks in chalk-white fields. He reports fake radio traffic, imaginary troop movements, and phantom convoys. Every report is true enough to believe, false enough to mislead. Germany falls for it completely. Hitler believes he has inside information, straight from a British agent. And every German command decision now flows from Garbo's lies. Garbo is a maestro on the airwaves. He simulates dozens of imaginary sub-agents across England. Agent G reports troop movement near Dover. Agent L confirms 3,000 soldiers preparing for embarkation. Every name, every location, carefully constructed. The Abwehr believes it all. Even as Allied planners watch, Garbo's network grows larger. Germany mobilizes divisions where none exist. Reserves sit idle at Calais. Panzers gather in the wrong place. All of Europe is watching. All of Germany is reacting. All because of a single man writing letters from Lisbon. By June 3, 1944. D-Day is just days away. Allied troops assemble quietly in southern England. Landing craft are loaded. Gliders wait in the shadows. Paratroopers rehearse night drops. Across the channel, Garbo's reports continue. Fusag now ready. Expected landing June 15th. German countermeasures concentrated near Calais. The OKH, Oberkommando des Heers, mobilizes troops to Calais. Panzer divisions do not move toward Normandy. The deception is complete. At June 5, 1944. Thunderstorms rage across the channel. Landing craft rock violently. Soldiers cling to their gear. And somewhere in Lisbon, Garbo writes his last pre-invasion report. Weather may delay the landing. Enemy unaware. Fusag remains strongest at Calais. Hitler reads it. He believes it. Every German general believes it. The stage is set. History waits in silence. June 6, 1944, Normandy. Allied forces land at Omaha, Utah, Gold, Juno, Sword. The beaches erupt with gunfire, artillery, and chaos. But the panzer divisions that could have repelled them remain in Pas-de-Calais, idle. Germany is paralyzed. Britain is ready. And Garbo. He listens to the news in Lisbon. A quiet man, sipping tea. No medals. No headlines. Just satisfaction that his lies saved lives and altered the war. June 6, 1944. 3 a.m., English Channel. The sea is black, waves clawing at landing craft. Paratroopers huddle, hearts pounding. Bombers hum in the distance. Above them, storm clouds hide the stars. Somewhere in Lisbon, Garbo writes calmly. Preparations complete. Germans remain deceived. Fusag ready at Calais. Hitler sleeps uneasily. He trusts his agent's words. Every reserve remains frozen, waiting for the invasion that will never come. At 5:30 a.m., Omaha Beach. Guns roar. Explosions shake the sand. Men scream. The tide carries soldiers forward. Machine guns shred the first wave. Yet, the reinforcements that could crush them sit hundreds of miles away, at Calais. The deception works. Every division that could have destroyed the landing is frozen in place, misled by Garbo's phantom network. In the skies above Normandy, Allied paratroopers drop silently. Chaos reigns. Twisting rivers, hedgerows, and forests conceal their movements. German commanders, expecting an assault at Calais, hesitate. Units are split. Communications break down. Garbo's reports ripple through Berlin. Major landing at Normandy. Minimal resistance reported. Enemy believes main force at Calais. Reinforcements positioned incorrectly. The Abwehr celebrates their inside information, oblivious to the trap. Omaha. Utah. Gold. Juno. Sword. Short, punchy sentences. Mortars thunder. Smoke chokes the air. Boats sink. Soldiers crawl. Medics run. Bullets shred sandbags. Chaos and courage collide. Yet the Allies persist. Because of one invisible hand, Garbo. At 6 a.m., in Berlin. Hitler reads another of Garbo's reports. Main Allied landing is a feint. Calais remains priority. He rages. He consults Rommel. He consults Rundstedt. He orders hesitation. Panzer divisions do not move. Every German countermeasure is delayed. Every hour counts. And each hour, the Allies consolidate their foothold. By midday, Normandy is secure enough to offload tanks and artillery. Allied supply lines established. German confusion widespread. Fusag, the ghost army, continues to lure German forces north. Garbo's network sends daily updates. Fusag maneuvers toward the coast. Enemy believes the main attack imminent. Reinforcements ready, defenses strong at Calais. Hitler's obsession with Calais becomes his own undoing. Every mistake, every pause, every wasted troop movement owes itself to one man writing from afar. By June 7th. Allies hold Normandy beaches. German counterattacks falter. Casualties are high, but reinforcements are delayed. Garbo sits quietly in Lisbon. No fanfare. No medals. Only the satisfaction that he has, with words and deception, shaped history. Across the world, the largest amphibious invasion in history succeeds. Not just with men and machines, but with the power of illusion and information. June 7 to 12, 1944. The morning fog lifts over the beaches. Allied troops push inland. Explosions echo in the hedgerows. The smell of smoke and cordite fills the air. German commanders move cautiously. The panzer divisions, the spear of Hitler's counterattack, remain frozen at Calais. Because Hitler trusts Garbo. Every report from Agent Arabelle confirms his beliefs. Allies are holding Normandy as a diversion. Fusag threatens Calais. Defenses must remain strong there. Reality and illusion collide. Berlin cannot distinguish the real from the phantom. Hitler becomes increasingly obsessed. June 9, orders reinforcements to Calais. June 10, receives Garbo's confirmation, Fusag is preparing for a massive assault. June 11, sends another panzer division north. Every decision wastes critical hours. In Normandy, Allied forces advance steadily. Every push, every gained village, every bridge secured is a direct result of a man who never fired a shot. Meanwhile, in Lisbon, Garbo lives a double life. Walks along the river. Drinks coffee at quiet cafes. Writes his next report. He monitors Berlin's reactions. Cross-checks their troop movements. Crafts lies that are convincing enough to control Hitler's decisions. He is invisible. Uncelebrated. Yet he wields more power than generals on the front lines. Allied planners watch the German paralysis with quiet awe. Fake radio traffic continues. Inflatable tanks remain in fields. Dummy landing craft litter the beaches at Dover. Every German reconnaissance mission confirms Garbo's phantom army. Patton, the ghost general, becomes a force Berlin fears. Panzer divisions sit idle, waiting for an attack that will never come. The Allies exploit the deception masterfully, moving troops, tanks, and supplies to the real front. By mid-June the Allies have secured Cherbourg. And Normandy beaches are reinforced. German morale is collapsing under confusion and indecision. Hitler finally grows suspicious but too late. By the time he orders real reinforcements to Normandy, the Allies have already established a firm foothold. The deception has bought them weeks, critical weeks, and the window to crush the invasion has passed. History will remember D-Day for courage, strategy, and sacrifice. But behind the beaches, behind the storm, lies another story. A man who wove lies so convincing, the Führer himself obeyed them. Garbo's genius was subtle, invisible, and deadly effective. He turned intelligence into a weapon, information into armor, and fiction into reality. By holding Germany in place, he saved thousands of lives and ensured the success of the greatest invasion in history. By May 8, 1945, victory in Europe. Berlin lies in ruins. Hitler is dead. The Third Reich collapses. Allied troops march through liberated towns. Cheering crowds line the streets. Church bells ring in celebration. And yet, the story of one man, the man who never held a gun, remains largely untold. Garbo did not storm beaches. He did not command battalions. He did not give speeches. He manipulated minds, redirected armies, and bent history with ink and imagination. After the war, Juan Pujol García is recognized quietly by Britain. He receives the Iron Cross from Germany, ironically, their highest honor. Britain awards him the Member of the Order of the British Empire, MBE. The spy who deceived Hitler becomes one of the most decorated double agents of the war, yet he shuns the spotlight. Garbo vanishes into obscurity. Moves to Venezuela. Changes his name. Lives quietly, farming and teaching. No headlines. No fame. Only the silent pride of a man who outwitted the Führer. Even decades later, historians marvel at the audacity. A single individual, armed only with courage and cunning, saved thousands of lives and altered the course of history. War is often remembered for guns, tanks, and bombs. But sometimes, the greatest victories come without a single shot fired. One man created illusions. One man played an entire nation. One man forced the enemy to make his own mistakes. Juan Pujol García, Garbo, is a testament to the power of intelligence, courage, and ingenuity. And as the world rebuilt from the ruins of war, his story quietly endured, hidden in archives, whispered among spies, and now shared with us. A man who became the ghost that fooled Hitler. In the shadow of history's greatest battles, one man proved that courage need not roar. One man proved that the pen, the mind, and the courage to deceive could change the fate of nations. Juan Pujol García. The spy who fooled Hitler. The man history almost forgot.